I'm just an ordinary student. Every day, I go to school and hang out with my close buddies. But that day, at school, I was beaten up by a blonde-haired guy. Later, I was cornered and attacked with sticks. I couldn't swallow this humiliation and decided to take revenge, even though the future was uncertain. I vowed not to back down. The four of us, me, Rat, Chubby, and Shun, were assigned to the same class. As soon as we entered the classroom, we headed straight to the back row, chatting while scouting for pretty girls. Just as Rat was about to comment on one, the classroom door was kicked open by a blonde-haired guy. He shouted, "I'm Tom. From now on, I'm the boss of the first-year floor. If anyone disagrees, come find me in class 3. The room fell silent. The first period was math. During the 15-minute break, I suggested we wander around and check out the restroom. The school bathroom was hidden behind the gym building. Before we even got there, we could smell the strong stench of cigarettes. We saw a blondie casually lighting cigarettes for some older third-year students. After we used the bathroom, we quickly left. The smoke inside was so thick we could barely see. Just as we reached the playground, the bell rang. We rushed back to class, but Chubby, running slower, didn't notice a blonde-haired guy ahead of him. The guy kicked Chubby to the ground with one swift motion. We hurried back to help Chubby. Rat and Shun helped him up while I apologized profusely. But the guy suddenly punched me in the face. Stars exploded before my eyes. My friends were furious when they saw me get hit. Shun and Rat grabbed the guy by his legs while Chubby held his arms. I was dizzy, but I managed to land a punch right on his teeth, knocking one out. He started cursing, "You little I'll make you pay." He tried to fight back, but I punched him in the teeth again. Blood gushed from his mouth. It was a shocking sight. Scared out of our minds, we ran back to the classroom. The four of us, from ordinary families, had never experienced anything like this. Not only had we fought, but we had drawn blood. Back in class, we were all distracted and terrified, worried he'd come after us, or that the school would involve our parents. And when parents got involved, you'd face a beating at home, or worse. By afternoon, neither Blondie nor any teachers confronted us. We secretly breathed a sigh of relief thinking maybe he was scared of us now. We endured the day, and at 5 p.m., we left school feeling victorious. But just outside the school gate, two motorcycles approached, blasting loud music. 4 people were on the bikes, waving sticks as they sped toward us. I instantly knew it was trouble. I shouted, "Run!" But before I could escape, I noticed Blondie coming at us, from behind with 2 more people. It was clear, there was no getting out of this. Without a word, Blondie raised a stick and swung it at us. The blows were brutal. It felt like my bones were breaking. Realizing there was no escape, I shouted, "Rat, Shun, Chubby, let's fight back." But they had more people and weapons. Within minutes, we were beaten to the ground. Blondie squatted next to me, grabbed my collar, and said, "Tomorrow, the same thing. I'll beat you every day. You think you're tough? Remember me. I'm Heisey, the boss of the second-year floor." He shouted to his gang, "Let's go hit the Red House baths. I'm treating." The Red House was infamous for being a hangout for delinquents, a place to gamble, show off, and smoke. We helped each other up, with Chubby crying loudly. People nearby watched us like we were some kind of spectacle. I kicked Chubby and scolded, "Stop crying. We've already embarrassed ourselves enough." We trudged home, exhausted and in pain. Halfway there, we ducked into an alley and sat on some stones to catch our breath. My clothes were covered in footprints. Chubby's head was swollen like a giant red date, and Rat and Shun looked just as beaten, their collars torn. I clenched my fists, frustrated. They beat us in front of everyone. How are we supposed to show our faces at school tomorrow? I'm not going back. I can't take this humiliation. Rat sighed. Heisey has numbers and backing from older guys. We're just kids. How can we fight him? Shun added, "I'm not afraid to fight, but we're outmatched." I looked at them and declared, "I'll get even. If you're my brothers, don't tell your parents about today. Tomorrow, I'm not going to school. At 5 p.m., I'll be waiting for Heisey outside the school. I'll take my revenge." Shun was the first to agree. "I'm with you." Rat nodded. "Me too." Finally, Chubby straightened up. "Count me in." None of us realized then how this decision would change our lives forever.